Good morning. This is Selina Khan from News Headquarters, Bangalore. What is bird sanctuary? To protect these birds and the species, bird sanctuaries are built. They are natural facilities that serve the conservation of various species and also their natural habitat. Further, it promotes the survival and rehabilitation of these birds. There are two bird sanctuaries in India, Ranganathitu and Vedanthangal. Bird life in India is colorful. Peacocks, pheasants, ducks, parakeets, crans, and pigeons are some of the birds inhabiting the forests and wetlands of the country. Let's now see some case studies on white-headed vultures from Tanya and Fatima.
The white-headed vulture. This is the white-headed vulture. It is an old world vulture endemic to Africa. Populations have been declining steeply in recent years due to habitat degradation and poisoning of vultures at carcasses. An extant relative of this family was also present in the Indonesian island of Flores, indicating that the genus was more widespread in the past.
Description: the white-headed vulture is a medium-sized bird. It has a length of 72 to 85 centimeters and a wingspan of 207 to 230 centimeters. The average weight of females is 4.7 kg and males is 4 kg. In this species of vultures, the female are larger than the males in terms of body size. These birds have pink beaks, white crest, and its featherless areas are pale. It has dark brown upper parts and black tail feathers. These vultures are easily distinguishable from the other birds, mainly due to the contrast of colors.
The white-headed vulture is widely spread throughout sub-Saharan Africa. They are also found in Senegal, Gambia, Somalia, South Africa, and sometimes Swaziland. In the Kruger National Park and the neighboring areas hold the largest population of this species in South Africa and in the whole world. A total population of 10,500 to 18,750 individuals have been estimated in the world. But newer estimates and recent surveys show that now there are only a population of 5,500 individuals. It is estimated that 400 protected areas contain 1,893 white-headed vulture nests. Most of them are in East Africa, Central Africa, Southern Africa, and in West Africa. They are usually they are found in thorny acacia-dominated landscapes. These species prefer mixed dry woodlands at lower altitudes.
Ecology: this species of vultures is loyal to its native territory. These vultures usually lay a single egg a couple of months after the rainy season has ended and the dry season is underway. The nests of these birds are usually built in isolated places that are preferably in territorial places. They usually fly lower than the other vulture species. This is also the reason why they first turn up to a carcass. They are also active predators. The visual or binocular field of the white-headed vultures is comparably more than the other species. This helps them with the accurate placement of timing of the talons necessary to capture a live prey.
White-headed vulture populations have been declining rigorously since the early 1940s. It was classified as the most vulnerable vulture species in the 2007 IUCN Red List. Recent indications state that the species is rarer than we previously thought it was. The main threats to white-headed vulture populations are reduction in food sources, degradation of their habitat, and also poachers. On the 20th of June 2019, the dead bodies of 468 white-headed vultures were found in northern Botswana. It is suspected that they died after eating the dead bodies of 3 elephants that were poisoned by poachers, possibly to avoid detection by the birds, which help rangers to track poaching activity by circling above where they're dead. Fun fact, the most amount of vultures found in India are in Bundelkhand. Back to Selena.
Thank you, Tanya and Fatima. This was a report from a sneak peek into the case studies prepared on king vultures from South Mexico. Over to Noreen.
Bird found in Central and South America. A distinctive bird, the king vulture is easily recognized. The bare skin on the head and neck is orange, green, yellow, and purplish blue. The crown is covered with small bristle-like feathers and a fleshy wattle directly above the nostrils. The fleshy wattle that bulges from the king vulture's beak is called a carnacle. Both males have these facial features, though the wattle's purpose continues to perplex scientists. King vultures do not gather in large groups but remain in family units. They mostly stay out of sight, perched high up in the canopy, or they are flying about and soaring high above the ground looking for food. They do not migrate, remaining within the same area all year long. King vultures, unlike some other vulture species, have a poor sense of smell, relying on other vultures to locate prey, then descending to join in the feeding. These birds are very rarely aggressive, usually backing down instead of fighting. Due to their large bodies and wings, they totally depend on air currents for their flight and avoid flapping their wings unless they really have to. King vultures do not have a voice box or the muscles needed to make it work. They can make very low croaks. During breeding, they will give warning sounds when something approaches their nest. King vultures eat carrion, which is the decaying flesh of dead animals. They have a thick, strong beak which is well adapted for tearing and long, thick claws for holding the meat. They have keen eyesight which helps them find their food. The king vulture's only natural predators are snakes, which will prey upon the vulture's eggs, and large cats such as jaguars, which may surprise and kill an adult vulture. Thank you.
Vultures can damage property, attack small, weak livestock, and are even viewed as an annoyance. But the king vultures play a vital role in the ecosystem. They usually find dead animals first and immediately begin to eat the rotting remains, which help reduce sources of disease. In addition to removing dead animals, vultures recycle nutrients that are used by plants. Since they feed on carrion, vultures are often associated with death and are thus thought of as grim and foreboding. Did you know sometimes king vulture is portrayed as a god with human body and a bird head? According to the Maya mythology, this god often carried messages between humans and other gods. The bird's blood and feathers were also used to cure diseases. This bird has appeared on the stamps of El Salvador and Bolivia. Although the species is not universally listed as endangered, the populations of king vultures are in a decline due to habitat destruction. These royal birds cannot survive if the forests that they call home disappear. In many areas, vultures are still illegally hunted or driven away from food resources.
Signing off, Andrew Suzanne Paul from South Mexico. Over to Selena Khan.
Thank you, Noreen and Andrea. In this generation, where vultures are being extinct, it's our responsibility to protect their habitat. Thank you. Signing off, Selena Khan from Bangalore.